What up, world? It's your boy Doughboy Don. I'm back this time with my review of NXT Vengeance Day. It's been a little minute, but I'm back, man. So yeah, go ahead and get into it. Starting out, what a way to start the show, man! With a straight banger, Wesley versus Dijak for the North American Championship. I really enjoyed this match. Dijak was on a tear, like yo. I'm waiting on them to like fully invest and like give Dijak a push because that was crazy. A man his size should not be moving like he moving. He be moving and doing moves that cruiserweights be doing. Like he was flying, zipping, and running right along with Wesley. And of course, Wesley was doing everything he could, but that power was getting to him. But there were several close calls on both sides. But then with Dijak trapped him in the chair with the kendo stick, and he was trying to hit a moonsault or something on him. Stacks came out with Tony D'Angelo. They got him out the way. They got hit, causing a distraction. But then Wesley came back and hit him with that with the cartwheel insecurity or whatever it is, and pinned him. And he retained his title. I was glad. But oh my, when his like, I don't know if it was his middle finger or his ring finger, but when one of the muds was like cracked, like it was broken, you saw clear as day. It was like that. Like that was insane. But I'm just glad that my boy retained, man, and that they giving him some more life with this reign, man. So yeah, man, it was a good way to start the show off. Next up was the women's tag match for the tag titles with Katana Chance and Kaden Carter and Fallon Henley and Kiana Bridge. Fallon Henley and Kiana James. I don't know where that came from. Oh my god, was this the short? Yeah, the shortest match on the card. It was. Oh my god, it was hard hitting. Oh, it was hard hitting. I'll give it that. And there were times when Kiana and Fallon would argue, and then the other one would and then the other team would take advantage of that. But somehow, some way, I think it was Fallon hit a move, and then she pinned Kaden, but then Kiana was holding her legs down, so she wouldn't kick out. But somehow they beat the champions, so now they're the champions. But they're still arguing. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So that was a little. I didn't like that, but the match was okay. It was all right. It was fine. Now this really pissed me off. Carmelo Hayes and Apollo Crews, the 2 out of 3 falls match. How you gonna what? I get it. Carmelo Hayes is the future. You want to make him look good and everything. Why you gonna have him 2-0 Apollo Crews? Now I get it. He had Trick out there, but Trick wasn't really doing nothing. He got the first fall, but it was after they was going at it for a good little while. But he was working on his look at his arm and his neck, kind of. Sorry, but yeah, he was doing that for a while and it got him. But then out of nowhere, Commander Aziz, or as he was previously known as Dabba-Kato, came out, got beat up Trick, pulled, Apollo Crews up, gave him a little bit of backup. But it still wasn't enough, because this man got freaking swept. And then after the match, Dabba-Kato, helped him up, they embraced whatever. Then he did the whole classic turn. So, I mean, it's cool, but at the same time, it's like, come on, man. So what is it going to be, Apollo versus Dabba-Kato now? And Hayes is going on now to feud to finally go after the NXT Championship. I mean, I didn't have any problem with him winning. I probably knew he was going to win, but he wasn't supposed to sweep this man. It was supposed to be 2-1, not 2-0. Yeah. Next up was the Fatal 4-Way Tag Match for the tag titles. Gallus, New Day, Pretty Deadly, and Chase U. Chase U showed up and showed out, man. Them muds was firing on all cylinders, man. Everybody was New Day was doing New Day, Gallus was doing Gallus, and Pretty Deadly was being Pretty Deadly. I hate, I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I was like, I don't care who wins as long as they don't win. And there was a time where there was a lot of momentum being shifted all over the place. So the match could have gone either way to either team at various times. And I like that. And I like that, that kind of opened my eyes to like Chase U, like, okay, maybe they could do something. But like I called in my predictions, Gallus pulled away, man. Them Gallus boys, bro, they showed, hey man, like we was running things in NXT UK. Now that we here in NXT, yo dog, we here to stay, and like we them boys. So they hit my boy. They hit Woods with what's that move called? Double up or something. But yeah, man, they clean that man's clock and they walked away with the win. So I can't complain. And it was nice to see somebody else win. New Day held the titles for a little bit. That's cool. I don't know if they stay down in NXT or if they move on, but I don't know because, like I said, until those titles, you know what I'm saying? Until the Usos lose those titles, man, the tag teams is kind of in a deadlock. You know what I'm saying? So are the world championships. Like, the sooner those titles start, you know what I'm saying, getting back in the ecosystem, better things will be. Next up, Roxanne Perez versus Toxic Attraction, triple threat for the NXT Women's Championship. I said it once, I'll say it again. She was going to retain. First off, she's called the Prodigy for a reason. That's number one. And number two, you always see it. When a group is challenging for a singles championship, it never, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work. These two was jumping and beating the hell out of Roxanne Perez, but they would kind of, hit each other on accident, and then, they would play tit for tat. And they would argue when she was down. They would focus on each other, and it was a mess. They were a mess. But but she was fighting them off for a little bit, and then there were a couple of times when I thought that JC was gonna walk away with the win, and there were times where I thought, okay, Gigi's definitely gonna walk away with the win, but they eventually reached the point where it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We get rid of her, then we fight. So they was setting her up to suplex her from the top rope to the table down below or something. But, she got Gigi up off her. Gigi went through the table. Then JC Jane got hit with a top rope pop rocks. 1, 2, 3. She retained. And we found out in the next NXT that, Bailey was bringing back Ding Dong Hello so they could work out their issues. It looked like they worked out their issues, but then JC Jane hit Gigi with a super kick. So Toxic Attraction is dead and buried. They both go in their separate ways. I'm pretty sure but their first thing coming out of this is they're going to fight each other. So the next pay-per-view, I'm expecting them to have a match on the card. I would very much like to see that, me personally. But yeah, it was a really good match, and I knew that she was going to win. Speaking of Roxanne, I think, what was it, Mako Satomura came back or something, so I don't know, but yeah, she's still, moving on up with this reign, and it's interesting to see what happens with her next. Next up was the main event. Braun Breaker, Grayson Waller, steel cage match for the NXT Championship. Match could only be won by pinfall submission. You couldn't escape the cage. Grayson Waller got his ass whooped from the windows to the walls. He would try to run. He would get snatched up and beat down. But then there were a couple of times where he would come in, he'd get some good licks in. And he would, hit a move here and there. But when that mug climbed to the top of the cage, I was like, oh no, bro. This man he's trying to kill himself. But when that mud breaker climbed up there and snatched him up off that mud, and he started talking that talk, like, yo, this is my doghouse, I run it. That mud slapped him, he hit him with that spear. That boy had no chance. And that's the thing with Grayson Waller. I feel that he's going to be NXT North American champion. I don't see him being NXT champion anytime soon, but I could see him having the belt pretty soon. I don't know when they're gonna pull the trigger, but when they pull the trigger, oh, it's gonna be something, man. Let me tell you, it is going to be something. He definitely, I could see him like he's like the second coming of the Miz, kinda, you know. So I could see him, having a career kind of similar to Miz's, but the thing that got me going was when Braun was celebrating on top of the cage, Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams came out, basically signifying that they're gonna run it back. No, not run it back. That they're gonna finally pull the trigger on them having a feud. Maybe Hayes is gonna be the one to take the title off of Braun. Me personally, I believe that they're both main roster ready, but I don't. I think what first needs to happen is that Hayes needs to be on his own. So either he breaks away from Trick, or Trick breaks away from him, and he costs him or something. Then they have their little feud or whatever, and then they move on. I don't know. Me personally, that's what would happen. But speaking of Hayes, he got confronted by JD. They had a match, but he won because Ilya Dragunov came back and attacked JD. So that's the thing. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah. All in all, it was pretty good. It wasn't like that. It wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. It was pretty good though. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Basically like a 75-80 kind of a deal with it. How I'm feeling with it. Like it could have been better. It could have been better. It's just I didn't like the women's tag match, and I didn't like the 2 out of 3 falls match. That kind of let me down. But that opening and that ending that was so good. And I love the triple threat women's match. That was awesome. Match of the night for me personally. The main event, and then the co-main event did it for me. The opening match, that was one of the best opening matches I've seen in a minute. Like straight up, if you don't watch anything else, watch the opening and the main event, and maybe the co-main event. Like straight up. So yeah, man, that's my review for NXT Vengeance Day, man. But let me know how y'all feel about it. Send in the comment section. What you like, what you didn't like, what was match of the night for you, how y'all feeling about the overall pay-per-view and everything. And you know what I'm saying, if you like what you saw, you know what to do, man. Hit the like button, subscribe, and definitely share. And when you like it and subscribe, man, you gotta hit the notification bell, because you never know when we go streaming and uploading. By the time this comes out, I might be done with Crash 4. I'm like right there. I'm at Cortex Castle. I beat that level. And I assume that I'm going to have to fight Cortex one last time. I am not going to. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to beat the level and then go to Cortex. I am not going to even bother. Because I know that there's a part where you play as another character from their point of view at Cortex's castle. Then you do the ending part. I'm not going to do that. Because that level is frustrating as hell. The game is... I love it, but at the same time I hate it so much. I don't know, but we go figure that out. And then once that's done, we're going to start Persona 3 Portable. And also, if you pay attention to my shorts, I got Hogwarts Legacy. So I'm definitely going to be starting to stream that. So yeah, man, we got streams coming and everything. And like I said, you know what I'm saying, I'm working. And, I'm also kind of in school right now. So, it messes my schedule up even more. But hey, man, I just had to knock this out. But yeah, man, it's your boy Doughboy Dot. I will holler at y'all party people in the next one. I'm out this thing, y'all. Peace.